My name's Mallory Hart, and I am a progressive agent of change. I like Progress Texas because I believe that they're doing the work to make sure we get information out on the local level, to make progress, to lay the foundation we need to turn Texas blue.
It's Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, Giving Tuesday, and more on that is coming up. But for now, this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. Democratic circles are abuzz about whether or not Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett will finally jump into the race for the U.S. Senate. Even ahead of that announcement comes talk of division within Democratic ranks over that possibility, as we know, and also less than certain. It's looking like the new Trump-ordered gerrymander of Texas is likely to be in play for next year's midterms, which will reduce the number of safe Democratic seats in the DFW region from 3 to 2, making a Senate run for Congresswoman Crockett all the more likely. Fans of Austin State Rep. James Tallarico and former Congressman Colin Allred are watching closely for that call. Of course, Josephine Lee at the Texas Observer has released a new interview with James Tallarico as of this morning, in which he addressed the potential Dem-on-Dem friction that appears to be bubbling up. He says, quote, "I'm not interested in tearing down my fellow Democrats, because we are all on the same team that's trying to change the politics of this country," unquote. And see the show notes for the rest. On the other side, the Republican Senate primary race is beginning to tighten up. Johnny Shing and his Substack shows the big gainer since the fall is Congressman Wesley Hunt, who's shaping up to be an actual factor as Senator John Cornyn and Attorney General Ken Paxton are lately polling within about 4 points of each other, with Paxton leading at 32.9%. Hunt trails, but is impacting the polling significantly with 21.7%. Which of the other two Hunt hurts the worst could decide who ends up the GOP nominee, or at least force a runoff between the two. If you ask Jeremy Wallace at the Houston Chronicle, and we frequently do, the recent wave of congressional Republican retirements we've been talking about this week is beginning to feel like a dark omen for the GOP's prospects in 2026. Wallace says large waves of retirements often come before midterms when the president's party is expecting losses. 2018 under Trump, midterms during the Bush and Obama years, for example. While Republicans are generally expected to hold the seats these guys are vacating, there's no denying that a blue wave is underway, and each of these seats should be considered an opportunity, both by quality candidates and the state and national party. This is interesting, too. Wallace notes that a bunch of these Republicans have built up seniority. Their departure means a hit in clout for Texas Republicans, no matter who their replacements are. And further, these guys may be choosing to dip out because it's just not much fun anymore now that Donald Trump has basically been given control of the House Republican majority by Speaker Mike Johnson. Imagine what a slog being in a Republican minority is going to be. No wonder they're scattering. Troy Nehls, in particular, is almost a guaranteed improvement in his departure from the stage. Evan Mintz at the Houston Chronicle takes meathead Troy to task in a new op-ed and does not mince words. He writes, quote, "Nehls has been a terrible representative, and it is hard to imagine how anyone could do worse than him. Surprisingly, for our political moment, this has little to do with his partisan politics. What you should expect is for local politicians to care about local issues and prioritize their constituents over national trends. You should expect Houston politicians to be biased for Houston. Nehls did the exact opposite. The longtime public figure made it clear his number one priority was pleasing his boss in Mar-a-Lago. During his 5 years in Congress, Nehls never seemed to have much ambition beyond doing whatever Donald Trump wanted. That's an embarrassing attitude for any adult man to hold. Whatever happened to the time when Texans were proud to brag about their bold independence? Where have all the cowboys gone?" Unquote. And there's lots more. See the link in the show notes. Also reading the tea leaves, but in a different state altogether, is Prop 50 looms over California Republicans. They're starting to jump ship too, and they want to jump onto our ship, or at least California Congressman Darrell Issa is thinking about running for one of these comfy new House seats in Texas. Punchbowl News calling that development perhaps the strangest shakeup so far to emerge from the mid-decade redistricting battle. Issa, who's got lots of money and is 72 years old, is eyeballing Congresswoman Julie Johnson's 32nd district seat, which again, should we end up stuck with the new map, will go from a blue lean to deep red. It's quite a leap for Issa to consider, as his current seat in California only gets a little harder to win under Prop 50, but he'd have to, actually work for it. Today is Giving Tuesday, a perfect day to pitch in for a terrific opportunity that has come our way here at Progress Texas. Traditional broadcast radio is no longer the exclusive playground to the likes of Rush Limbaugh and Alex Jones, because starting this Sunday, December 7th, Progress Texas is taking our message to listeners and voters in Texas's largest and most diverse city on the FM dial in Houston, Texas. Our weekend In Progress Roundtable show joins the regular lineup on Houston's KPFT 90.1 FM HD2 starting this Sunday and every Sunday morning thereafter at 11:30 a.m. And with your support, we're hoping to replicate this effort in other media markets in Texas in 2026. This new radio initiative requires additional manpower and equipment costs for Progress Texas, so we hope this Giving Tuesday you'll redouble your generosity and help keep Progress Texas doing what we do. See the show notes for links to learn more about and stream KPFT FM in Houston. Again, In Progress makes its debut on Sunday morning at 11:30. Get your tickets right now for our 2 holiday parties coming up over the next couple of weeks. The first is next Monday, December 8th in Austin. The second is the following Monday, December 15th in Dallas, for the first time featuring live podcast recordings with a bunch of our most influential movers and shakers. In Austin, our pod panel will feature State Senator and Congressional candidate Sarah Eckhart, State Rep and candidate for Lieutenant Governor Vicki Goodwin, and State Senator Roland Gutierrez. In Dallas, we've got State Rep and gubernatorial candidate Gina Hinojosa, candidate for Attorney General Joe Jaworski, Tarrant County State Senate candidate Taylor Ramett, and Texas House Minority Leader Gene Wu. Sponsorships are available, and so far, our holiday parties are brought to you by Shaping the Future supporter Charles Zeller, Fired Up supporter John Adair, Be the Change supporters Alex Andrade, Scott Elphinstone, Howard Cleon, the Honorable Dick Levine, and the Honorable James Tallarico. Thank you, sir. Persistent supporters, the Honorable Yasmin Simon, Jason Smith and Sarah Pareda, Unified, and Jerry Yoss. Good Trumbull supporters Allison Grinter Allen, Bright Blue Inc., Alex Clark and Kate Rumsey, hosts of the Mission Texas podcast, Valerie DeBille, the Honorable Vicki Goodwin, Joe Jaworski, the Honorable Ron Nierenberg, and Mark Yagin. And Raise More Hell supporters Avowed, Louis A. Bedford IV, Stuart Campbell, Hannah Cutshaw, Bill Holston, the Honorable Donna Howard, Will Judy, Angela and Gary Kutak, Jenny Laughlin, Carol Orr, Jennifer Owen, Mark Ferris, Gary Potts, the Honorable Zoe Kadri, Beth Stromberg, the Honorable Adam Swartz, and the Texas Progressive Caucus. Thanks so much to all of y'all. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the billionaire and corporate-funded conservative disinformation machine, and we rely largely on listener support to keep doing what we do. While we enjoy the support of hundreds of partners, chances are that you, dear listener, haven't joined the team yet. If you're a regular, let's get you on board right now. Huge thanks to Dolores Garcia, Alan Carroll, and Kelly Craven Sharp. We appreciate all of y'all very much. Join the team now at ProgressTexas.org. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch. For this Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.